I played at my May Madness tournament a couple months ago against FIDE Master Josh Pasuma. If you guys don't know about Josh Pasuma, he's a very, very strong player in Michigan. He's 2,400 USCF. He's 2,300 FIDE, and he's a FIDE master. This was played at one of my tournaments. I was the tournament director, and I ran it. It was game of 45. We had two sections. We had the invitation, we had an open section, and then after the tournament, we had a blitz tournament. Afterwards, because I'm also a tournament director and I run my own affiliation. If you're watching, follow me on Facebook at Wildman. Join the Detroit Chess Killers group. Also have a podcast called the Detroit Chess Killers Podcast. And I lost this game, but I think this game could help folks out. And to the people, let me say this like this. I believe this game can help folks out. You can take some pointers and help improve. And like you said, I'm just going over this game, streaming it. Feel free to time in. 1 second, let me, you don't mind, gotta switch this board. Now, if you don't know Josh Pasuma or haven't played him, he's pretty much a D4 player. So the game's open up D4, I open up with G6. The reason I play G6 because I play the Accelerated Dragon. And me playing Josh, we've played thousands of blitz games. He always opens up with D4, maybe B3 sometimes, or knight F3. So I try to trick him and see can I catch him off guard and a line that I'm more comfortable with than he is. So after D4, G6, he plays pawn E4, and I think I got him. So I answer with C5. If knight F3 is played, CX D4, knight H D4, we go into something that I'm more comfortable with, Accelerated Dragon, because I am a Sicilian player. Josh plays pawn D5, sticking to what he knows best. I answer after pawn D5. I play bishop G7, getting my bishop developed on the A1 H8 diagonal and also preparing the castle. After bishop G7, he answers C4. Like you said, Josh is a positional player, strategic. He likes to grind you out. He's one of the players, if he gets up on pawn, pretty much, game over, because he has a phenomenal middle game and technique. So after pawn C4, I answer D6. He develops his pieces, knight C3. Like I said in my other video, when you play chess, you pretty much want to develop all your pieces. Fight for the center, knights before bishops, get castle. That's what Josh does, knight C3. I answer with knight F6, trying to get castle immediately, because gots to get the king in safety and out the center of the board. So I play knight F6. I'm immediately preparing the castle. Knight F6, he develops his bishop to D3. Like you said, all this is pretty much normal. After bishop D3, I castle. He plays knight F3. Knight F3. This position is like a Benoit, a modern defense of Benoit. I'm not too fond of this position, but I try to play it to the best of my knowledge. After knight F3, I play E6. Looking at it now, I probably shouldn't have played it, but hey, it was game in 30. I wanted to take me a little risk. My plan is to trade off, open up the E5, trade off on D5, open up the E5, probably put a bishop on G4, knight BD7, rook E1, rook E8, knight E5. So after E6, he castles, I capture, EXD5, EXD5, he captures CXD5. I develop my piece. Remember, piece development is key in chess in the opening phase of the game. You have to develop your pieces immediately. So after bishop G4, he plays H3. This is we call this a force move, attacking my bishop. And if for ones you don't know, pawn is worth 1 point, bishop is worth 3. Now, if I move this bishop back, it's kind of like losing the tempo, so I want to keep initiative. So after H3, I capture. He plays queen F3. After queen F3, I play knight 8D7. You see this square right here? This E5 square, that's what I'm fighting for. I plan on probably putting a rook here, knight on E5, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Centralize my knight, probably get some counterplay on the queen side. So I play knight BD7. Josh sees that. I was looking, I thought he was going to probably play bishop F4, but he actually went back to queen E2. Solid move, kind of threw me off guard, so I play queen E2, I play A6. The reason I play pawn A6 is because I want to grab space on the queen side. Remember, A6, B5, extend. I have this weak D6 pawn, so that's why A6 was played. After A6, he couldn't give me no space, so he plays A4, preventing B5. If I do try to play b5, I'll drop a pawn, ax b5, ax b5, rook x a8, queen x a8, bishop x b5. So after a4, I play rook e8. Rook e8 is played. I may have some, little tactics, knight x d5, maybe c4. What Josh does immediately after rook e8, he plays queen c2. He gets his queen out the line off the same file as my rook. So after queen c2 is played, I play rook c1. The reason I play rook c1, I may try to play pawn c4, force the bishop back, play b5. I'm just giving you ideas. Drop a knight on c5, all that other good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to maintain and keep the balance and the tempo of the game. So after rook c8, he plays rook f1. I play knight h5, and this is where I come up with this aggressive plan. And I thought it should have worked, but as you see, I'm gonna start playing real aggressive now. As you can see, we just pretty much been developing pieces, but now I come up with this plan with probably knight h5, queen to h4 right here, probably queen h4, f5. Just watch how it works. So after knight h5, he plays bishop e2, hitting my knight. After knight, I go immediately queen h4. This is letting Josh know immediately that I come to attack. I come to attack. Maybe drop a bishop on d4. Maybe play f5. I come to play when I play queen h4. I might have been overly aggressive, but what you're supposed to do when you're 1900, you're playing somebody 2400 in the game of 30. So after queen h4, he plays bishop g4, which is a very, very, very great move, because instead of capturing what I thought he was going to do, he plays bishop g4, and this is a pin on this diagonal, and I need this knight to jump in. So this is preventing the knight coming to e5, because I'll drop more material right here on c8. So that was a great move. So after bishop g4, I play f5. Remember, I'm playing aggressive as I can. This is also a counter pin. If e captures f5 right here, I can capture the rook on e1. So like you said, I'm trying to attack, and you know what I'm saying, really go after him, try to make his position complicated as I can. So after f5, he plays bishop h5. I play queen x h5. Queen x h5, Josh plays bishop f4, immediately hitting the weak pawn on d6. After bishop f4, I play knight e5. Remember, I cannot drop this pawn on e5. He plays ex f5, opening up lines. I capture with the g pawn, which I think now going over it is wrong, because you don't want to give your opponents no weakness, and that's what I did. This pawn is isolated and it becomes weak. The isolated weak pawn is a pawn that you got to protect with another piece. So when he captures on f5, when I capture back on f5, the pawn cannot be protected by another pawn. And also, I'm giving a hold on e6 squared, and Josh immediately reacts to that. He plays knight e2. So after knight e2 is played, I already see that the knight's gonna come to g3, hitting the pawn on f5. So I already prepared. I'll play rook f8. Probably wasn't the best move, and then Josh plays this move right here, bishop g3. When the bishop g3 is played, it's already letting me know knight f4, e6. There's nothing I could do about it. So after bishop g3, I play this move, bishop h6. Remember, I think during this time, and bishop h6, you see the evaluation. It's like the worst move on the board. It goes up to plus almost 3 points for white, who's a 2400 player. But during this time, I think the time was like, I had like 5 minutes, he had 3. So luckily I had time on my side where he probably couldn't calculate it. But like you said, I'm fighting for my life positionally here, even though that the position is equal. So after bishop h6, he plays knight f4. I capture, which was horrible again to the evaluation. I'm just giving away all the dark squares. He plays bishop f4. After bishop f4, I play rook c8 e8. I don't know what I'm doing at this moment, but I still got plans of probably playing knight g6 and f4. Even though it's losing, I'm just going to stick with my plan all the way out. So after rook c e8 is played, Josh plays rook e3, shifting the rook over, controlling the third rank, which is, like you said, a very good move. Like you said, Josh is if you ever played FIDE Master Josh Basuma, he's a person where he tries to sense your attack out and make moves that can prevent it. 3-4 moves down the line. So I think this was a great utility move, rook e3. After rook e3, I play rook f6. The reason I play rook f6, I was probably trying to swing my rook to g6, probably play knight f3. I'm playing hope chess because, like I said, we're down. We're under 5 minutes. I know this for a fact. So after rook g6, he plays queen c3. Once again, keeping everything tight on this angle. On this file, the H, the H3, A3 file, pinning this, and also working on the dark square. So he went queen c3. After queen c3, I play the worst move ever. And I know when I played this move, I had to be under time pressure. It was just like a blunder. But I thought I saw something, and I really, really didn't. And I end up going down a whole chess piece. This was a horrible move on my end. Horrible move. Horrible move. I played knight f3 check. Knight f3, and the reason I played knight f3 because I really, really thought I saw something and I didn't. He played rook f3. No, I apologize. And like you said, blundered under time trouble. I ended up losing that game to Josh Pasuma at that tournament. Strong player. And even though I lost that game, this tournament was won by international master Tuli Shetty. That was my game against FIDE master Josh Pasuma. Now I'm finna go to another game for y'all. I played this game at the World Open. I played this game at I played this game at the World Open, and I forgot what round it was, but I went to the 2019 World Open. I played in the under 2000 section. I ended up withdrawing. I had 4.5 out of 8. I started off with 3.5 out of 4, and then just fizzled out. During this game, I played the Sicilian. I played the Sicilian. My opponent played the C3 Sicilian, opening that I'm familiar with, and we're finna go over it as we speak. My opponent plays pawn e4. I play pawn c5. After pawn c5, he opens up with c3. This is called the Alpine Sicilian. It's becoming like very popular. My bad. He played knight f3 first. I apologize. He played knight f3. I went g6. Like I said, I was thinking we were going into, like I said in the game before Josh, accelerated dragon. So he plays g6. I apologize. G6. He went d4. I went cx d4. He went knight x d4. I went bishop g7. Bishop g7. He went c3. Now I'm not a GM by no means. Like you said, my USCF it fluctuates. I've been high as 1935, low as 1800. My blitz rating, I have a blitz rating of 2023. FIDE USCF 1903. I've been playing accelerated dragon. From all my studying and all my lines, C3 to me, in my opinion, lets me know that this opponent is not familiar with this theory. So when C3 is played, automatically in my head register, hey man, this guy couldn't play, and I knew I was gonna come out the opening equal with the black pieces. So after C3 was played, I played knight c6, continuing my development. He went knight b3. After knight b3, I went knight f6. After knight f6, he went bishop d3. After bishop d3, I went pawn d5. Usually I always say in my videos, fight for the center, get castle, and get developed. But during this time, I just immediately got to grab control of the center. As you can see, I have knights on c6. I have knights on f6. Bishop g7, I've developed. He's wasted 2 tempos. Knight went from f3 to d4 to b3. He played pawn c3. With a pawn on c3, it's taking away the good square from this knight on c3, hitting the d5 square. So immediately I have to go for the initiative. So I play pawn d5. He captures ex d5. After ex d5, I capture queen x d5, he castles, and I castle. Look at this position for black. Anytime you're playing black and you feel like you can get equal position, like you said, you see I'm favorite, that lets you know you're coming out the opening good. So ex d5, queen x d5, we both castle. I have control of more center squares. Like you said, this is just a beautiful position for me playing black. He went queen e2. Queen e2. When queen e2 was played, I was automatically looking at like bishop c4 threats, maybe rook d1, rook d1, stuff like that. I play rook d8. I put more pressure on a d5. I got to, I want to control files, ranks, and I feel like I could, really dominate this game. So after rook d8, he went bishop c2, another passive move by white. Bishop c2. Look at my position, look at black position. Tell me what position. Look at white position and look at my position with the black piece. Tell me what position you like. I got knights on f6, c6, queen on d5, rook on d8. Pretty much control of d5. All my pieces is developed. I need one more piece to develop. He still hasn't got these two pieces developed. So I like my position. So after bishop c2 was played, I played bishop g4. After bishop g4 was played, f3, I brought my bishop back to e6. Now he has a pawn on, f3 looks horrible. c3, I love my position. I'm comfortable. I got a game where I can easily calculate my plan. So after bishop a6, he plays knight a3. Knight a3, I played pawn a5. Pawn a5 was a positional mistake. It really was. It was a positional mistake because I thought I was going to get a4 and I thought I was going to push my opponent like off the board, but I actually ended up weakening the b5 square, c5 square, and I was letting him get playing the board. He went bishop e3, finishing his development. I immediately went queen e5. After queen e5, a pin on the queen file, queen is centralized, all that other good stuff. Rook fe1, I played knight d5, put more pressure on the pin piece. So after knight d5, he went bishop f2. This is where I came up, spent my time thinking, and I came up with a whole bunch of tricks. I immediately played queen g5. The reason I played queen g5 because now I got threats of probably putting the bishop on h3, knight on f4, just giving me something to play. Keep the pressure on, keep it dynamic, keep the game dynamic. So queen g5, he went bishop e3. I immediately played knight f4. As you can see, knight x e3 was probably a better move, but I went knight f4. After knight f4, he captured, I captured. Now he has no dark square bishop. I feel like I got control of the dark squares, so I'm getting more comfortable in this game. Also, let me tell you, in this game, I actually lost the initiative and had to get it back and had to fight for a win, but I pulled through. So after queen f4, he went queen e3. Remember, my position is better. So after queen e3, I didn't want to trade queens. I went queen h4. After queen h4, he went queen f2. Queen f2, I played queen h5. After queen h5, he went knight c5, putting pressure on my bishop on e6. And after knight c5, I went bishop d5. I centralized my bishop on d5. After bishop d5, he went bishop b4. Hold on one second. Y'all just messed up my damn video. What you want? Hey. Apologize about that. After bishop d5, get back to his position. Everything centralized. I had to play bishop x e4, and after bishop x e4, he played knight x e4. During this time, I'm just letting the position just to me, kind of like slip away, but I still got some type of advantages. So after bishop, we trade off the bishops. I play knight e4. The reason I played knight e4 because this knight d3 square looks just weak. So immediately he plays queen e2. After queen e2 is played, queen e2. Hold on, I apologize. He didn't go there. He didn't go there. Bishop e4. Bishop e4. After bishop e4, knight e4, I went knight e5. After knight e5, he played rook e d1. Then I went knight d3, queen e2, then knight f4. Remember, I'm trying to keep this position dynamic as possible and put threats all over the board. So after knight e4, I got the square on f4. He went queen f2, and I came up with this clever idea. I thought it was clever. I ended up playing, and I spent a long time thinking. I played rook d5. I played rook d5. It looks like the engine likes rook d5. The reason I played rook d5 because I didn't want to trade rooks and give up control of my d5. So I played rook d5. So if he trades, the rooks trade, I come back with the queen on d5 and double up the rooks. So after rook d5, he trades. I trade queen x d5. He wants queen d2. I spent a long time thinking. I didn't see nothing. I play queen d2, knight x d2. Now we're in the end game where I have a bishop versus a knight. So after queen d2, I play rook d8. He goes knight dc4, attacking my weak a5 pawn. I play a4. I look at this position. Tell me who you prefer to play. So after knight d4, he plays g3, and this is why endgame technique to me is phenomenal. I need to work on myself. I play knight e6, but I think I played this pretty well. Bishop rook e1. So after rook e1, I play bishop f6, just trying to get my king in the game. King f2. There we go with this d3 square again. I play knight c5, just trying to be annoying. Knight c5, he goes king e2. I play king h5. After h5, he plays knight b6. Knight b6, I play h4, just trying to open up some files, weaken some squares on the king side. He plays knight ac4. I capture hxg3, hxg3, king g7. I step my king up to g7. He plays rook d1. He offers me a draw. I thought for a long time, and I thought for a long time it's going to be hard for me to hold this pawn on a4. So the only hope I had, and I don't know if it was right, but I played rook h8, trying to get my rook down to the 7th check. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to get your rook down to the 7th. So I played rook h8. Rook h8 was played by me immediately. He played king e3. I went rook immediately down to the 7th. Gotta have control of the 7th. Rook h2, rook d2. I do not want to trade off rook h1 just in case. Just want to keep pressure just in case. So after rook h1, he goes king f2. King f2, I play rook h2 check. After rook h2 check, he goes king e1. I play rook h1 check. Again, he goes king e2. King e2. And the reason I repeated this position, I just honestly didn't have nothing to play, so I had to come up with something. And I thought for a long time. He offered me another draw, and I went to a long thought process, and I was like, I'm going to fight this game out. And I came up with this plan, and it worked for me. I played immediately pawn e5. Pawn e5, because now my plan is I'm going to try to play e4, break this pawn down, trade off, get this pawn on g3. So I play e5. After e5, he played knight d5. Knight d5, I play e4 immediately, sticking to my plan. After knight e4, he played knight x e4. I play rook x e4. He plays rook d3. Rook d3. Look how this position has changed. I play rook h2 check. Just to check him, he plays king f3. After king f3, I play knight g5. Knight g5, he goes king e3. I play pawn b5. Look how this position has changed. It went from like being equal to favoring white to not it's favoring black, and I feel like I'm comfortable and I can win this position. Weak G3 pawn, active rook, his knight is passive. I just love my position. So after pawn B5, he plays knight D6. After knight D6, I play bishop E5. And there was a reason I played bishop E5. I played bishop E5. Can't remember, but it was the reason I played bishop E5. He went knight E4. I capture knight X E4, king X E4, and I played F6. F6. I meant to. This was a long game actually. If you went to the 2019 World Open, the time trial was 40 moves in 2 hours, sudden death in 30. So this was a long game. I think this game might have ended around like 9, 10 o'clock or something. I think the round started at 6, so I know my opponent was tired. And these games is tiresome and gruesome. So after I played F6, he played knight F4. Knight F4, I just immediately traded because I feel like I have enough knowledge to win this game. So king F4, immediately rook XB2. After rook XB2, he played rook D7 check. I go king H6, king H6 check. King H6, he goes rook D8. Rook D8, after rook D8. It's like taking candy from a baby. I immediately capture the pawn on A2. Rook X A2, he checks me on H8. Check, king G7. He goes rook. Back to A8. I immediately go rook C2, hitting another weak pawn. So after rook C2, he goes rook A7, check. I play king H6. And for a minute, I thought he was trying to, he played G4, and I captured C3. Then he played this move, G5, and this was kind of tricky because I thought it was a chance that I might have had got scholars made it, but nah. So I play FX G5, check. He goes back. I play rook B3. My opponent resigns. That was one of my games from the 2019 World Open. I hope you liked it. My analysts, my notes, what I thought about the process, you know what I'm saying, what I was thinking. Like you said, message me, tell me your feedback, let me know what you think, follow the stream. Let's look at another game that I played from the World Open. Let me see, let's go back to analyst board. Like you said, the World Open was a phenomenal tournament. I get to see good folks like Brooklyn Jerry, Sean Martinez, National Master, down on my boy James Caney, Angel Lopez, all them good brothers. I had real fun with. This is the game I really wanted to show y'all. And after this, I'm just gonna end this stream out. This was I think this was probably the best game I played. My opponent gave me a lot of advantages, and when your opponent gives you them advantages, you gotta take control of them. I had the black pieces again, and during this game, like you said, this was the Appling. And he went E4, I played C5, he went C3. If you're not familiar with C3, I played the C3 Sicilian. I played the C3 Sicilian a lot. It's very popular in the under 2000, for the under 2000 players. It's tricky. You just get an easy game when you can avoid like theory and all that other stuff. So C3, I went pawn D5. But can I have water bottle, mama? Thank you. After pawn D5, EX D5, Queen X D5. All this is booked. D4. After D4, I went G6. After G6, this is a new line that actually my good friend FIDE Master James Caney showed me. GM Caney, he showed me this line because we was down at the World Open together. G6, he went knight F3. Got you after this for the knight F3. Thanks. So after knight F3 was played, I played bishop G7. This is just a line he had showed me with, because let me just give you a little backstory. We went to the World Open. I'm from Detroit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Me, James Caney, Brian Barnett. We all from Detroit. Went to Chicago with a player named Will Jackson. Chris Walker, FIDE Master Josh Bassoon. We all stayed in the same house. We studied, we prepped. And just like a couple days we got there, Jimmy had showed me this line. So bishop g7 and it worked. So that's why I'm really going over game. Opponent played h3. I go knight f6. He went bishop e3. After bishop e3, I captured. Cx d4. He captured. Then I castle. Remember, it's always develop your pieces, getting your king in the safety. Knight c3. With a tempo, I went queen a5. I didn't want to go back and lose a tempo. My opponent played bishop d3. After bishop d3, I went knight c6. He played a3. And this is where I immediately started taking initiative. As you can see, my opponent is not castled. I'm castled. So immediately I started to attack. I played knight d5 immediately. I started hitting this pin piece and attacking the bishop. You know, just trying to make him waste the tempo, come back, move, maybe even get the bishop pair. After knight d5 was played, my opponent played queen b3, and I think this is like horrible, in my opinion. So after queen b3, the engine likes bishop b6, but I just immediately captured knight xe3 because I thought I was going to have the dark square bishop. He was going to have weak dark squares. So after bishop b3, I went d5, immediately trying to just tear him and bust him down. He went d5, pawn d5, I went knight e7. He went bishop c4, and this was strange to me because in this game, this is why I say it's important to castle. My opponent never castled, and I kept the pressure on him, and his pieces never got on good squares, and I won the game. So after bishop c4, I went knight f5, hitting this weak e3 square, king f2. See what I'm saying? If he was already castled, that wouldn't have happened. So after king f, knight f5, king e2, I immediately go back knight d6. Reason knight go back to d6 because I don't want my opponent pushing this d6, this d5 pawn anymore, getting any threats on f7. And knights are like the best pieces to block pieces, you know, block squares in front of pawns with. So knight d6, he went bishop d3. I immediately play f5. I'm on the attack. I'm on the hunt. This is why I say castling is important. He opens up e4. I immediately play queen c5 check, hitting the dark squares. Queen c5, king e2. I play this little tricky move right here. Bishop h6 with a check on e3. I'm just gonna squeeze my opponent out. He plays queen c2. I immediately go queen e3 check. Wasn't the strongest move. fx e4 is the strongest move, as you see by the engine, but over the board I couldn't see that deep, so I played queen e3, king f1, fx e4. When fx e4 is played, opens up the f file. The king's on the f file. I thought this game was over. fx e4. My opponent plays knight x e4. fx e4. My opponent captures bishop x e4, and I missed this move. The engine says bishop f5, but I just took knight x e4. After knight x e4, my opponent plays queen x e4. I just brought the queen back to g5 because the rook is pinned. Rook is pinned. I had plans on getting the bishop on f5, all that other good stuff. He plays king g1. I slide my queen back to f6 because once I get bishop f5 in, game over. Game over. Queen e2 is played, and then I come up. I think, to me, this was kind of clever. I play e4 with initiative. The reason I play e4 because I know he has to capture this piece, and I'm gonna slide my queen over to b6 and get my rooks in the game. I saw this. So after e4, hold on one second. King g1. Oh, we gotta go back. I apologize. Gotta go back. Queen e3, king f1, queen g5. After queen g5, king g1. I went queen f6. He played rook e1. I apologize about that, putting pressure on the pawn. After rook e1, I played queen f5, rook e1, queen b6 check, king f1, bishop f5, queen e2. Then I play e4. So when e4 is played, knight x e4, knight x e4, rook a e8 with the position. Now he's all pinned. He's all tied down. Knight can't move because I take the queen. So this is pinned. This knight moves. This knight moves. I move my piece with check, all that other good stuff. So rook e8, queen c2, and I played the move that wins the game. Take some time and look at it. I'll give you some time to look at it. I think this was like the dopest move ever. I saw this move immediately after queen e2 was played. I'm giving you some time to look at it. After queen c2 is played, I play bishop e3. Cuts the rook off from the knight. I'm going to win this piece for free. Knight f6 is played, all the other good stuff. So after I play bishop e3, my opponent immediately resigns. This is Derek D. Wildman. Follow my stream. Have a blessed day. Hope you enjoyed these games. And I'm logging out.